button here. Let's see what it does. Cool. Do you like to talk us through what you're doing?
Well, I'm putting my stuff away, and now I'm going to make this place look a little bit more professional. As in, just tidy my desk up. Even though you can't see any of it, it's a bit messy. It won't take long. I won't milk this out for any longer than it needs to be.
Do it, mate. I like it as a little peekaboo behind the curtain for the viewers.
I mean,
So much for listeners, but
so packet crisps, banana, crusts, because I don't eat my crust because I'm a child.
The fact that you have a fucking meal deal at home is amazing.
Yeah. Empty cup of tea, empty pint of water, always good.
Water is good. I've got my own one here.
Loverly juggerly. DPD label, that's always useful. I know.
Still expect. Oh, hell's no.
Hell's no.
Hell's no. So with the DPD parcel, is that something you're still expecting, or have you received it already?
I have returned, and I am.
Oh goodness!
The correct thing that I bought instead of the incorrect thing that I've had to send back.
What was that?
Well, 1 second. So
it's all right. You can talk. I can still hear you.
Okay, that's good. I wonder whether you can pick me up or not.
Yeah, I can still hear you fine.
So it's a Christmas present, and basically there are two different versions of this thing that I bought. One is more expensive than the other. They sent me the more expensive one, and the person who it's for doesn't want that one. They want the one they actually wanted in the first place, which looks nice. So, just sending it back, really. That's all.
Fair play. Fair play.
Right. We're almost there. I'm going to sit down on this chair, and it's going to make me look really low to the floor, I feel. But
I'm ready. That's not as bad as I was expecting. Actually, does that chair go any lower?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, damn it.
No.
I was going to say, because if you could lower it, then do it again, that would add to the comic effect.
Well, I could go,
Yeah.
When is that not funny? You'll never find a time that's not funny.
There's never a time that's not funny. Austin Powers proved that is always funny.
Exactly. Yeah, here we are, Matthew. Again, doing another podcast.
I know, it's got to be done. Well, it's mixed things up a little bit because it was your recommendation, which I like.
Yeah, a proactive interviewee. I like to be called.
Yeah, it's got to be done. How are you, my friend? It's been so long since I've heard your dulcet tones.
Solid 48 hours. Yes.
I know. It's probably close to 36, but all right.
Is it?
Yeah, what time? I spoke to you Thursday night. What time was that? Thursday night? Wednesday night?
Oh, mate. I've got no idea.
Hang on, I'll tell you. Let me have a look. My phone doesn't lie. Oh, well, fine, Wednesday. Okay, you win.
It was Wednesday. Okay.
72 hours, whatever.
Yeah. What have you done in those 72 hours since the last time we spoke, mate?
Let me think. I've been in the process of buying a whole load of books, as you can tell. But equally, I'm in the process of selling a bunch of them.
I think you need some more.
I agree. I mean, I've got at least a few gaps here and there, but I've got space for 3 whole books up here, and let's not even get started here. If I can get one book in there. Oh.
Mate, it's an actual crime that you have those spots left.
And I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. But since doing that, I've realised that there's a whole bunch of books I don't actually read. So I've got a little stack down there. So I've just basically piled them 2 rows deep, and I've listed them all on eBay. I think this week I've sold 7, 8.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Out of how many?
30.
That's not bad. That's a solid dent, to be fair.
Yeah,
Already.
it's pretty good. But there's a bunch. I've added more to that list. So since selling them, I think I'm up to. I've added another 10, so I'm up to 30, 34, 35 kind of thing. So it's going well. What about yourself? How's work been?
Well, work's been all right. I haven't told you actually. Unrelated to work, but I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah,
Mm.
work's been all right. Wednesday and Thursday was fine. Yeah, nothing really happened work-wise. But Thursday, I might be able to. No, it's mean. This is cat related.
Okay.
He being Archie, the cat that I have, he's been in a fight recently.
Oh shit.
He's fine, but he had like where he was got like behind his ear. He had like a little abscess, and he's managed to pop it, and it fucking reeks. Yeah, and my dad took him to the vet on Thursday, and he came back, and I didn't believe him when he told me, but he's got a cone.
Has he?
He has an actual cone, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I can send you photos of him.
Oh, dude.
Because
that's some funny shit right there.
It is fucking funny, I'm telling you. It's
He
looks so upset and slightly confused at the same time. He just doesn't know what to make of it.
No animal enjoys having the cone of shame on. No one likes that.
No. And he just looks so stupid as well. I don't mean to be rude, but
the poor dude. It's quite funny though. Comedy equals tragedy plus time. So he got in a fight, but as long as he's all good, then it's all absolutely fine. What in the fuck?
He'll come back from it.
See, this little bitch is shown.
It's just like
Like I say, this little bitch. These photos have showed up. He looks. Oh, dude, there he is. Oh my god, that's some funny shit. These photos showed up on my Mac before they showed up on my phone. Dumb fucks.
That's weird.
Yeah, whatever. I got him now. Oh, he looks so sorry for himself. That's adorable. Am I permitted to show the audience?
Yeah, man, of course.
Yeah. Look at that dude's little face. Look at him. Oh, that is quality.
Not very happy at all.
Bless him. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, my friend.
It's well worth the comedic effect. But the thing is, he can't hear with that thing on, and like I'm pretty sure like he relies mostly on his because you can go behind him, you can click, and you can make all the noises, and you won't turn around unless you're kind of like parallel to where he is.
Weird.
And then he'll look and notice you.
Yeah.
But like it's forced all of his whiskers forward, and like his ears can't really hear behind him, so he's and he can't see his paws, and so when he looks up, this cone comes up with it, or with his neck, so he can only like when he looks up, he can literally just kind of you can't see much more than like this. So if he tries to go anywhere, he's like padding around with his feet, like trying to find where to go. It's kind of mean.
How long has he got that?
He'll be out of it by Monday.
Oh, well, that's fine. So it's funny for another day.
Yeah. He'll be all right. But he's got to take some antibiotics as well. But even that, he's never been a bitey cat. Like he's not a cunt. Like he won't even struggle. He'll just kind of sit there like that and put shit in his mouth. Yeah. You put like the pill and then like you squirt the antibiotics down his throat and he'll be fine. He's weird in that respect. Like he doesn't do anything to anybody. Off the last two cats we had, it's kind of strange because they both had like maltreatment from human beings. This one hasn't. Yeah. And so he's like, you can kind of tell he's like really confident and like he trusts people like 110%.
Mm.
He doesn't feel the need to bite you or kind of like lash out at any time.
Yeah.
Like reasonable kind of like times, like if you're putting a pill down his throat or otherwise. He doesn't do anything. So that's quite good.
Yeah, it's good for it's the important stuff. He's not having a go at you for them, which is good.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing all right. But yeah, he'll be fine.
Decent. Well, carrying on from our previous conversation, I've got it's confirmed. I've got the Xbox on pre-order.
Have you?
Yeah, mum put the order in because she's going to do it as part of it is to be Christmas. The other part is I'll pay for. It's fine. But I was thinking I was going to get the smaller one because there's no point in me getting the big one. Like I don't.
What's the difference between the two? I don't really know.
Hang on, and I can tell you in a really boring manner. Actually, I'll do it here so they don't do it. I think, to be honest, more than anything else, I think it's just storage, or they're storing obviously processing power. But there's a big difference in price. So it goes up about 200 quid between the two of them. So you're like,
yeah.
It doesn't really seem worth it, but.
Well, you'll be sitting pretty with your new Xbox then. Damn,
I know.
To do it as well.
Yeah, but we'll get it. I won't be able to use it until after Christmas. But hey, it's all cool.
That kind of adds to the fun of it, though. You know, if you haven't had a couple of exciting Christmases in the last couple of years, this one is sure as shit will be.
Well, that's we don't know what sort of delivery schedules they're going to be looking like either, because they're going to be, because it's pretty much sold out most places. There's probably going to be quite a bit of a backlog for people getting the new ones.
Okay, now.
Which makes sense. So it turns up when it turns up, you know?
Yeah, and I suppose it's been made quite a lot worse by the fact that so many people are staying at home. So
and
had they not sold out last time, or in a usual kind of year, this lockdown kind of secured the fact that they'd sell out, which is a shame. But
I think I'm trying to think if there ever was a time where an Xbox or a PlayStation didn't sell out.
Well, I suppose maybe they haven't, but maybe the supply chain isn't as free flowing as they want it to be. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they may usually sell out, but they might not have the extra ones on hand to put the stock back up again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens, because it might be a case of it'll be like the PS3 problem again, where the first batch that went out, all of them glitched.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. That sounds mad.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but from what I remember, they were all like faulty settings on them.
Shit. No red ring of death, hopefully this time, with like you get with the Xbox 360.
No, why? It was weird for me because I had the red dot. I didn't even have the ring, so I was like,
"What the hell does that mean?"
It either means there's a clog up of shit basically in the fan, or it's heated up so much it's melted the circuit board. And so I took the whole thing apart, cleaned it, put it back together again. It was actually a lot of fun. And then as like YouTube's amazing because it's taught me through like each step how to do it. I was like, okay, cool. And then I put it together, still did. I was like, yeah, the motherboard's fucked. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, oh.
Jesus. Yeah.
So I've still got it. It's in the garage. So I'm just like,
it could be useful for parts one day, maybe.
Maybe, or I don't know, because I've still got a stack of a bunch of 360 games that are not backwards compatible. Because there's when you look at it, it's a very short list of what they allowed to be played on the S and the X upwards and stuff.
I don't know why they can't just make games backward compatible, irrespective of whether they were good, bad, or why can't they just have them work? Like, is that too much to ask?
I mean, I kind of get it because you'd want to encourage people to buy the newer games. But I mean, people can do that anyway because who doesn't want to play new stuff? Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the new Halo that's actually been delayed.
Hmm.
Did you watch any of that
I've seen bits of it. It looks pretty cool.
It does look cool, but the graphics were awful. Like they just looked
You think
exactly the
so?
same as they'd done. Pardon?
Yeah, they look the same. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're. Well, but I guess because the graphics were so good last time, they're probably hitting a bit of a ceiling at the minute for the graphics.
But then if you look at other games that they're going to bring out
Hmm.
in comparison to what this it should be, it's a next gen game, and all the other ones that they've
Hmm.
shown, even on like the PlayStation, they all look fucking mad. But this
Yeah,
one still looked like it was Xbox One spec, and
yeah, it's a good
for a
point.
7 year gap, you'd expect something better, especially
Hmm.
from it's like their flagship game. It's
Yeah, yeah,
just looked a bit
that's a good
shit,
point.
if I'm honest.
Well, I felt the same way, but the other way around for Battlefront when when they brought out that again.
Yeah, that was such a good looking game.
It is phenomenal. The gameplay is stunning, graphics stunning. It's like you are on Hoth, but that's it. Like there's nothing to do. You've got like 6 missions. That's it. There's no instant action. There's no space battles. There's like 2 maps where you can be a Jedi versus a Sith Lord. There's there's like 1 map for fighters, that is pretty sick. But that's it. I'm like, have you got to buy more maps or something? But I was like, there's nothing. I was like, so they put all their money into the graphics, and that's it. I was like, that's
Yeah,
such a fucking waste.
yeah. It's like that was the new out of the 2 new ones. That was the first one, was it?
Yeah, yes, it's the one. So it's the one where you've got Luke on the front facing an 8080.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. To be fair, you should try and have a look at the second one because that's really good.
Hmm.
The second one is mad. It started out really really shit because I remember I bought it when it came out and nothing worked and there was hardly anything. Like you're saying, there wasn't much to do on it.
Hmm.
Um, and they tried to make it. It was a massive thing. They tried to make it pay to win based. So if you wanted the
Ugh.
best characters, yeah, if you wanted the best characters, the best kind of stuff, you have to pay for it to get loot crates.
Oh
You need to
God.
pay with that real money. But people hated it so much and people had such a kind of like a bad reception to it that they
Yeah.
took it back. And I think in the course of like 3 or 4 months, they kind of like stripped that bit out and rebuilt the game. And
Wow.
now, like 2 years later, they've stopped development for it, and now it's fucking sick. It's
Wow.
so good. And one of the best things about it is this thing called co-op missions. So you can do, you have the Republics. You can either fight as the clones, droids, the Galactic Empire, the Rebels, the First Order, or the Resistance. Right. So you have 6 factions that you can choose to be, and
Cool.
then you fight whichever faction you happen to play with. You
Hmm.
fight their opposition.
Yeah.
So if you're the Republic, you fight the droids. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But you're with 3 other players, so it's 4 in total. And then you just have everybody else. All the other players on there are AI, and it's either like you capture the first base, and then the second, and then the third, and the fourth, and then you win, or you defend the first, and if you lose the first, you go. So you're either attacking or
Hmm.
defending, basically.
Yeah.
And it goes from places like Tatooine, like Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
Um, it can be on Endor with all the Ewoks and shit. It could be on Hoth. It can be fucking anywhere.
I hate Endor as a map. It just makes me so angry.
These ones are much better. I'll tell you
Oh.
right now.
Okay. It's just because like the previous ones, because what my tactic would be if I was rebels, I'd start at the end base, get on a land speeder, and just zoom all the way through, get to their command bunker, blow up the command bunker, and work backwards that way. Problem is,
Yeah,
I couldn't work out what was a tree and what was a bush, so I'd just be like, yo, just plow headlong into a tree. You're like, great, got it again.
God, yeah, I do miss playing that first one actually. what was that? There was a one. It was near the end of the game, near the end of the life of it, and it was on like a fiery planet. I don't know whether it's like Celeste or something.
Mustafa?
Might have been, but there's like a big kind of there's a big hangar and like a river of lava flowing through the middle of it.
I think that's Mustafa if it's lava. Because you've got Desert Planet, which is oh god damn. Geonosis.
Yeah,
Yeah, it must be Mustafa if it's got lava in it.
must be then. I must be chatting shit.
Yeah.
Another
that
good
was
thing.
gone.
I was going to say another good thing that this second one has is Ewok Hunt, which if you say it really quickly,
would you call me?
swear.
That's good. That's very good. I like that.
Ewok Hunt.
Man. Yeah. Oi.
Ewok
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
It's like Mike Hunt, but a bit different.
Oh, good old Michael. Good man.
It's his brother Ewok. Ewok and Mike. What a fucking pet.
That's like the world's shittiest band name.
Ewok and Mike.
Yeah. Shit.
Anyway, yeah, this Ewok Hunt is good. So you're on Endor, and there's two teams. One are Ewoks, and the other are stormtroopers. Right? If you're an Ewok, you're on third person, and it's pitch black. It's nighttime, and obviously these creatures, for some reason, they can see in the dark much better. So it's still dark. It's still quite dark, but it's like a bluish tinge, and you can see where you're going quite easily. You can see people far in the distance, and you have a bow and arrow, and then you have like this kind of like thing that you can throw, and it hurts people, and you have like a little twig. It more or less is a twig.
Yeah.
And then when you're a stormtrooper, you are stuck in first person, and you have a flashlight. It's pitch fucking black, and the only way you can see is if you have a flashlight on the end of your gun, and you have a limited amount of ammo. So if you go around shooting fucking anything, then you're pretty much left for dead. And
Jesus.
You have one grenade, and the Ewoks in the game, if you press like right on the D-pad, they get their little horn out, and you hear, and then somebody else will do it, and you hear, and then it's like, oh shit, you can hear them all around you, and you hear like that, and all the fucking noises. And you don't know where these fuckers are, and then you hear like footsteps behind you, and you turn around, and then like this little fluffy cunt is running at you with like stones and like twigs and shit, and then you're dead. Yeah. It's actually really scary.
That's what weirded me out about this game. They did that in the original Battlefront 2, and it makes it so confusing when you have the original sequel.
Yeah.
And they did that for different classic planets. So you'd have Hoth, which would be oh god, what are the big hairy beasts called again?
Wampers.
That was awesome. Being a Wampa versus the Rebels was so sick because they'd run like a Jedi, and you'd be like, and you're taking people out. That was good.
That was a great impression.
Yeah, but that was like a Wookiee more than a Wampa. But yeah, same thing with Kashyyyk. You'd have Wookiees versus droids. Tatooine was.
Can you just be a little bit quieter, please?
Sure. Okay, goodbye. Tatooine was. What's that? I'm trying to think if you were Gung. No, you were Jawas for Tatooine. That's what you were. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
And obviously, I don't know whether it was the first one or the second one or the original two. You have the heroes versus villains. Just like the
second one.
Yeah, on Mos Eisley. That was good. But you could be anybody. That was good fun.
What would, if you had the choice, which one would you be out of the two of those factions?
Probably the villains because they have Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm?
Okay, well that was gonna be my second question. We've already answered that because it's Darth Maul every day, mate. Come on.
Yeah, he was overpowered. I think
Yeah, man.
he was good.
Very
He was
good.
he was very good. There was, I think, Yoda was all right because he just flipped everywhere.
The only advantage he had was that he was so small that no one could get him. It would have to be like Bobo Jango Fett to shoot him because you just couldn't hit the fucker because he was like this little green furball just like running around taking people out.
Yeah, I remember Obi-Wan Kenobi was a bit shit. Who else?
Yeah,
Did they have?
Aida Sakura was pretty cool, but again, 2 lightsabers, big advantage.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, the good
He-
guys were pretty shit overall because you'd have like Han Solo if he played as him in like Galactic Conquest or something. Um, because his gun was so powerful, it would just take out each individual person. But because once you do it him versus villains, they're all like super powerful as well. So his gun's like a pea shooter. So you're just like
Yeah,
it's just not
that
very
was a
good.
good one. It wasn't the best. I think didn't they have Leia on the good side as well?
Mm-hmm.
And was Padme wasn't in it. I'm trying to think of what heroes they had on there that had a gun instead of a lightsaber.
You had Chewie was a good one because he had that repeater crossbow and then a grenade launcher. Um,
Got that in.
so it's Chewie, Leia, and Han who had guns. The rest were all lightsabers.
Yeah. Oh, and the villains had General Grievous as well, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
The only bad thing about him is that he couldn't. You could only do like a hop. You can do a proper jump, but other than that, he was
he was pretty spot on.
awesome.
Or fucking
Awesome.
yeah, man.
Yeah, see, Grievous, I feel, was one of those characters they didn't really flesh out enough. Like they could have done so much more with him as a character
Yeah,
in the films.
but yeah, in the films I agree. But apparently in the cartoons and the animated things, he's mad. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
think yeah. There's one where he was I think it's a cartoon and he basically kills like 5 Jedi and there's Ki-Adi-Mundi left. And for some reason Ki-Adi-Mundi is like his top half of his clothing is just ripped and like he's fucking shredded like this with a massive head. And then General Grievous has like killed all the clones that are like around that they had, and all the last remaining Jedi, but Ki-Adi-Mundi, and then this crashed ship that they're in was fucking surrounded by droids, and then you have General Grievous running like hopping around, and Ki-Adi-Mundi's there like fucking Rambo just with a long head, and a blue lightsaber. It was a
Rambo
good
Jedi.
episode, as far as I remember. It was a good episode, but apparently, like the way he looks the way he does is because he's a cyborg, and it's supposed to be said, I think, that he was in a ship that crashed through the will of the Force, apparently, or through Palpatine, who crashed it, and then they kind of took him, made him into this thing that he is, and then kind of used him. And he was made to be like, if you really read into it, like the Clone Wars, there are really political like undertones of it, of like Grievous was used as the poster boy of like the ultimate bad guy for the Republic. Like as the Clone Wars were going on, he was to be shown to be like the ultimate kind of like antagonist, because, and he would happily put up with it. Whereas obviously it was Palpatine and like Dooku or whatever just doing their shit. He was made out to be the main antagonist. That's the only reason they had it, just for him to take the brunt of the I suppose the attention, I guess. But
because at that point they knew that Dooku was a bad guy. But Palpatine still hadn't showed his face until episode 4. As in, like, and well, it was like in episode 3 he shows true colors. So I guess they wouldn't really be doing anything during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, it's a good. I do miss it. The original 3, the prequel 3. They're better than the last 3 that's come out. To be honest,
no arguments there, mate.
I can find somebody who wants to argue with me about that, and I'll piss on him, figuratively, of course.
Sorry about you know where Josh lives. You can go there.
Does he really?
Mate, he loves all of them.
But does he think? But does he think the last 3 that's come out are better than the prequel 3?
I don't think so. But I don't think anyone thinks they're better. I don't think anyone thinks any of them are better than the prequel. As in
there must be
the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't like them. Full stop. Like the last 3, I was just like, eh.
What was like? There were certain things like Finn. He was there to fill a quota and nothing else. He was. We need a black guy in this film. Let's pick him. At the beginning, you think, oh shit, he could be like the new Jedi, or the
yeah,
like
he would have been a sick Jedi.
Yeah, he would have been like this generation's Luke Skywalker, for want of a better way of putting it. But
yeah,
he was like knocked unconscious, or like at the end of the first one. Did absolutely piss all through like half of the second. Woke up and then was just. He just happened to be good again.
You notice it a lot in the most recent one that came out. A lot of what's happening is Disney had too much of a hand in it, in the fact that they had to tick this box, tick that box. Let's have some lesbian. Let's have some black woman. Let's have some black man, Asian woman, Asian man. You're like, but they didn't do anything with the plot. They're not good.
And yeah, it's all very well. Go on. Sorry, you're halfway through.
I was going to say, the ideal society is a meritocracy where you have things and people based on their performance, not because of how they look, because you're paying fucking identity politics with it. And you're like, you did. But the problem is, we know you're doing it as well. So, like, we're watching it and we're like, I like this film. I like this film less because you've done this.
Yeah, it's blindingly obvious. Yeah.
It's upsetting.
Yeah. You I know. Oh. Gonna make me cry in a minute, Matt.
Sorry, we'll take a minute together and just think about it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And there we are. I was trying to hang in as long as I could. I was just like, just don't twitch.
I could not laugh much longer.
I was going to try and work in let's all bow our heads for our fallen brothers, but I was like, doesn't really apply to this one.
No.
Because that's always a good one where it's like, what is it? It's someone either gets friend zoned or they get like married and just like, oh, let's bow our head for a fallen comrade. And everyone's like,
lost forever.
Lost one.
What was have you watched any of the Mandalorian?
No, I've heard it's good though.
Very good, very very good. I've watched the whole first series. I think it's really good. It's more. I don't know whether because it's obviously it still has something to do with Disney because they own it. But it's not as maybe because it's not part of the main storyline. They have more freedom. Or they have more. They can be a bit more visceral with it. Perhaps.
Okay.
But it's just more what you expect from anything Star Wars related. And I felt that from all the films that haven't been the main trilogy line, have actually been better than the ones that were. So everybody pissed on the Han Solo film. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Rogue One, I really enjoyed that too.
A phenomenal film.
Right?
Very good film.
The Mandalorian, really, really good. And I don't think anything else has come of anything else yet. But like the Kenobi series that's come in, that better be the best thing ever, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is the most underrated character out of the entire thing, or one of at least. Because he's such a sick character, and he's proper jokes, and I rest my case.
So are they going to do it as a trilogy or like a TV series for him?
Yeah, it's a TV series.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be good. That would be really good, actually.
Yeah, and it's got Ewan McGregor back for it as well. So.
How are they going to do that? He's going to look way old for his character.
But I mean, I suppose these things will be of him once he's moved or once he's exiled to Tatooine. So he'll be.
Oh, I see.
He'll be. I reckon he'll be in the right kind of age range.
Yeah.
So it would work, I'd imagine. They might have to make him look a little bit older, in fact, so he looks more like Alec Guinness.
That's it. Yeah, because the original Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that those things, because I'd be interested to know if like Rogue One, Mandalorian were all done by directors and producers different to the last three films.
Well, Mandalorian is, the episodes in that have various different directors. So one of them is Jon Favreau.
Oh, good boy.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, he's really good.
He's great.
Yeah, and the guy that directed, have you watched Jojo Rabbit?
No.
But the guy
isn't that Favreau?
No, that's Tiki. I can't remember his second name.
Okay.
I can't remember his second name, but it's good. It's a good film. But he's directed some of the episodes for Mandalorian for that as well.
Cool.
And there's been others. I'm gonna do a quick Google because it's Mandalorian directors. Director list. There's even a list. Yeah, so Carl Weathers, so the guy that played Apollo Creed, he's in it.
That's cool.
He's not a director, but he's in it.
Yeah.
Pablo Pascal.
Keep him going. What's going on? Keep him going.
Dave Filoni. So Dave Filoni is one of the guys that did the original, like the Clone Wars TV show, the animated thing. He wrote and directed that entire thing, so he knows what he's talking about. And like people that watch the Clone Wars animated series fucking think this guy's a god. So
cool.
I don't know all of this because of the Reddit page that like circle jerk him off at every given opportunity.
Reddit is a dangerous place to be.
I quite like it.
Some of it is absolute gold.
Yeah, some of it's hilarious. But the thing is, yeah, it's like Facebook is fucking septic now.
Oh mate, I've deleted off my phone. I'm not touching you.
I haven't been on it for months. I'll go on it to like clear my notifications on the browser, but that'd be it.
Yeah.
So you've got Deborah Chow. I don't know who that is. Yeah, so the guy that did the Jojo Rabbit director, Taika Waititi. I might be butchering his name. I probably am.
No, I'll go with that.
But you recognise him if you saw him.
Let's have a look.
He's good. And have you heard of the comedian Bill Burr, the American?
Oh, I love me Bill Burr.
He's in the first season as well.
Ooh, as what?
It's like a mercenary kind of thing, like a gunfire.
That's fucking awesome.
And that's a good episode, actually. That is a very good episode, that one.
He is a funny fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
Yeah, I do like him. I reckon you should give it a go. Just have a try.
Disney Plus, right?
Yeah. And if you haven't used it already, then you'd probably get like I think it's like a 7-day free trial. You could smash the whole series out in like 7 hours. So I think they're about an hour long, maybe. I think there's 9 episodes actually, so you could do it and watch the ones that are out in the second season. You could do it. Maybe
your maths is very good, so well done.
Oh, I could do a math. I could do a mathematic.
Was that your Deliverance impersonation?
Yeah, square baby. Sorry. I'll stop now. This is good.
No, that was good as well, mate. That was very good.
Out of fear of embarrassment, I'm going to stop right.
Oh yeah, that's the thing you got to worry about.
Yeah,
I might look silly.
I can do a mathematic. Bacon is good for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You recognise it if you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Bacon is good for me. It's like this little kid that like I keep saying it. It's like this. I think. Oh, what is his name? I can't remember. But it's like this American TV show where a doctor goes in and says, "You all eat shit, and this is the reason you're fat and unhealthy and X, Y, and Z. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put you on a different diet, a different lifestyle for a week. And if you don't like it, or if you don't think it's made a difference, you can tell me to leave and go back to the way you were. But if you do think you've made a difference, then I implore you to stick with it," basically. And this kid was on it, and he comes out of his room, and the doctor that was going through their fridge was called Joyce, I think. Yeah, she was going through his fridge, taking the family's fridge, taking out all the junk food, and it was like popcorn chicken. You don't need that. And he's like, "Joyce, I've had it up to here with you." He's like, "I'm packing my bags," and like he must be about like 5 years old.
That's amazing.
He does a little interview. He goes like, "She's coming here and thinking she's a princess, and we're the sorry people." Like that. And he talks so eloquently for like a 5-year-old. It's the best thing ever. He goes, "I'm leaving. I'm packing my bags. You'll never see this face again." And you see him walking out down the street to like his grandma's car.
Do you ever see those? I don't know what this was from, but it was like this little 3-minute video they made easily like 12, 13 years ago, or whatever. But it's about this kid who's he's like, "I'm gonna run away from home," and this news reporter comes and he's sat in the living room with a kid, and he's like, he sat with the mum, and the kids are there. He's like, why'd you want to run away from home? And the kid's like, "I've had enough. She won't give me my biscuits on time. Like, school's boring. I don't get my toys that I want or everything." So it's like, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna live with my friend, and it goes on. All that builds up for like a minute or something. So then they're like, "All right, we're gonna call this kid's bluff," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to France. I'm gonna stay with my grandmother." And he's like, "Fine, whatever." And so they're like, "Fine, if you want to go, just go." He's like, "I'm going." She's like, "Go." So he's packed a bag. He's out the door. So this news reporter and his mum are stood there. They're waving him off. And so he's going down the street. And they're just like, "Yeah, he'll come back." And he stops. He turns around, he comes back, and they start smiling. They're like, "Oh, he's great, he's coming back, it's brilliant." She bends down, knees, opens up her arms. News reporter's like, "Oh, he's here." The kid brushes right past him, walks into the house, walks back out again. He's like, "I forgot my fucking passport." And he's like 7. Just look at their faces, they're so crestfallen. They're like, "Oh." This little 7-year-old guy, "I forgot my fucking passport."
and he's going to walk all the way to the airport and get on a plane on his own.
Exactly. He's 7. He's fine. He can do what he wants.
He's more or less an adult.
Hmm.
More or less. Oh man, children are funny.
Well, how old is Kevin supposed to be from Home Alone?
I don't know. Maybe like 10 or 11.
Because in the first one, yeah, he's just by himself. And the second one, is it the second one he's in Trump Tower, or is that the third one?
I thought it was the first.
No, the first one he's at home. But there's another one where they leave him in like a block of flats.
Yeah.
Or it's like a hotel or something.
Yeah, because he has like 9 siblings or something, right?
Something
Something like that. Something crazy.
God almighty like that. I mean, you got to hand it to his mum. She looks good for squeezing out 10 kids. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be, actually, you might be right. I think it might be the second one. Because I remember he finds himself on the Twin Towers at one point in one of them.
Yeah.
I remember that, which is mad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because the first one I would have seen the most out of all of them. The other ones I've seen each once, maybe twice.
Yeah. I think I've definitely seen the first one. The second one I think I've watched part way through, not all of it. But yeah, I can't quite remember. But they're funny. They are funny.
It's those they're a weird like series of films because they're a staple in the fact that it's a iconic film. This is a specific formula and it shouldn't happen, but it does. But it's so open for ridicule to be like, it's so ridiculous that you'd forget a kid, and also that this kid can take on 2 dudes, and you're just like, obviously not through brute force, through like guile and cunning, but you're still like, it's brilliant, but just so ridiculous at the same time.
And that's what makes it work, I think. It's like a fine line, and this thing kind of like balances it pretty perfectly, I think. That's quite good. It's pretty good. Oh, would you like to see? I've literally just looked at them, and I've just realised. It's incredibly anticlimactic, so don't be surprised or excited. But
all right, I'll try and keep going.
So I take with my porridge every morning.
Biotin, so what's that?
Supports the maintenance of normal skin, hair, and mucous membranes.
Ah, that's the stuff. Yeah.
So, ingredients: bulking agents, microcrystalline cellulose, dicalcium phosphate, should I say? Anti-caking agents. It's a damn shame because I love cake. Silicon dioxide, magnesium stearate, and biotin. So it doesn't actually tell me what it is, and actually I've got these as well, selenium. And if anybody's watching this on Smell-O-Vision, have a whiff of those, because they fucking reek.
What do they smell of?
Dead fish, a fart, and poo. But fart is poo, poo is fart. It's not nice. It's more like a fishy, shitty smell. It's really hard to put my finger on it.
So you've got a shitty fish in a bowl.
And I eat it every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what that pertains to?
Well, these two are supposed to help as I've said already, the biotin at least supports the maintenance of normal skin, hair, and mucous membranes, and the selenium contributes to the normal function of the immune system and the maintenance of normal hair and nails. So because I'm not going out so much, it's like I kind of take it mainly because I'm not getting the vitamin D, I'm trying to go out more. I'm trying to go out on more walks. Hence, what we're going to be doing on Monday. I'm looking forward to
You
that.
know it.
That'll be good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it's just for that really, and I don't think because I'm stuck inside with dry air, like it's not fresh. There's no because we've got the heating on. It's just dry air. No proper light, no natural light, hardly any. Especially if this room is actually quite a dark room. And probably for the sake of a relatively naff diet, because I make for my lunch, I just have whatever I can be asked. To be honest, I don't really not that I don't care, but throughout my life I've been able to get away with eating shit. I think it might have caught up with me perhaps, but these things help, as far as I know at least. I haven't been taking them long enough to find out. But yeah, so that's more or less it, basically. Like my nails are fine.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, have you noticed any more hair falling out?
Oh yeah, yeah. That hasn't really stopped. But I don't doubt it will. I don't doubt it will stop for a while. I don't expect it to stop for another couple of months, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
I have
just too soon to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, like you're not going to be able to see this. I don't know why I'm showing you, but like there are baby hairs like growing at the front, which there wasn't. But yeah,
As in, it's a good thing.
what baby hairs? Well, they're hairs that I guess weren't there originally, I suppose.
That's good though, right? It means your hair's growing back.
Oh yeah. I assume.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that it happened in the first place, I guess. But yeah.
I think again, similar to yourself, you can't really see, but like it's like that. You see, that's really faint. That's really, so from what I was telling you about the other day, that there is really thin.
Yeah.
So it's only by having the fringe like that it hides it. And same with that, it's really, really thin hair, just these little bits.
Yeah.
The rest of my hair's really thick, so that's where I have my most problems.
Yeah. Do you reckon do you see it staying like that because to a certain point, a man's hair will go back anywhere unless you're some like my creative director. His hair he has a really strong hairline. I've asked him like, how? What the hell are you doing? And he said it's in his family. Like all of the guys on his dad's side at least has like a really strong hairline, but then at a certain age they will go white. Like hair will just go white within like a couple of weeks. It will just go
pretty good.
Bang like that, and they'll have a white hair.
That's quite cool though.
Yeah. I'd rather have white or grey hair than none.
I've got so many silver hairs inside of my head.
Mate, you're telling me.
Dotted all over the place.
Yeah. But do you reckon do you see it going back any further? Because that could probably just be your maturing hairline, and it could just stay there. Because that happens. Not just because it's going back doesn't mean it's going to continue, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I was speaking to you about the other day, I don't know whether this is as a result of a direct result of stress, or whether this was just going to happen anyway and it just happened quicker. I don't know.
I mean, it could be, because fucking find me somebody who hasn't had a stressful year this year. Tell me somebody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it starts looking ridiculous, I mean, I was basically bald a bit like for midpoint this year, so I just get the whole lot off. I'd rather keep, obviously, but equally, I know I can do bald, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Either way.
And you've got Caiger hair, so you know it's looking good. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's the most I've seen in your face ever in my life. I think I've seen you with.
I've had more, but it was just like that. Whereas this now is actually keeping a nice shape, you know.
Yeah, like sometimes I think, I'll try it, right? And mine is shite. Okay, it's better than what it used to be, but not by much. Like it's here, and here, and maybe like fucking some straggler pieces of shit here and there, and that's it. There's nothing else. And I've let this here, my moustache kind of bit, grow, and they don't all face the same way. They'll be like, doing. I'm like, this looks shit. This looks fucking awful. I don't know why, because it's not long. They're sparse, like they're spaced out as well. They're not. It's not like thick. It won't show up like yours. It will be. It just won't. So fuck knows what that is. But
well, mine. I think first of all I had to actually grow it. So lockdown allowed me to grow it to see what happened, and then when I started going a bit crazy, the number 2 was this little bad boy here. It's a lovely beard comb, and it just helps shape it. So like, yeah, if I do it in the morning, I won't just touch it, and like the hair will just stay like in the right direction, so it knows where to grow now. It was really good.
So you
just
almost
stays nice for that.
You trained it basically, almost.
Pretty much. I mean, it will just follow in the same direction. I mean, there's some like these ones are slightly different because this hair I've had longer, and like the pores have grown out. What do I say? I started growing from here first, so the pores have had longer, so the hair's a bit different. But like the rest of it is just behaves itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's doing all right. Ain't too bad.
It's doing good. It's doing good. Yeah. I think it's the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I can't hold a candle to like a dear friend of ours because he's just
fucking hell.
I mean, the fact that he can make it look however he wants, you're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. No, he's really lucky in that respect. Very, very lucky. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like, because I've got this blood test on Tuesday to figure out what it actually is. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to find out, or I'll have to wait rather. I don't know how long I'll have to wait to get the results. I don't mind waiting. It's not a problem. And if they do turn around and say male pattern baldness, I'd be like, yes, that is shite, but then I know what it is. I don't want to have to find out after months and months and months and months and months of thinking it's one thing or thinking it's something else or thinking that it could be that and not having a definitive answer. Because if it is that, then I'll just think, what can I do? There's nothing. And then I'll just have to work at being at peace with that. But I'll have a definitive answer, and that is sometimes all I would probably need. And then so I'd have to kind of find ways to work around it. And to be honest, if it got too bad, I'd probably just get rid of all of it. Just fucking and fuck knows what my head shape is like. I'm convinced I've got a bad shaped head. Like, I'm fucking convinced. Like, I've got a small skeletal face to begin with. Some people have called it heroin chic, which I think is quite funny.
Yeah, sure. I like it.
Heroin chic, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think I'll just look really weird. And so if I had to do that, if I had to go like this, I would embrace the art director stereotype, which is bald goatee, some sort of shitty something. I even grow it out just so I can mature it. I might look like a really wispy, like Mr. Miyagi type shit, like just really shit for a while, just so it kind of like matures. Then it would be all black, like clothes all the time. I'd like have obnoxious tote bags on me all the time. I roll my trousers up anyway, so that's I'm halfway there. I just have to reinvent myself basically, which I don't mind doing. It might be fun, and I'll probably get a tattoo probably somewhere. I want one anyway, but I might get one on my head. I'm saying all of this now, and it probably won't happen, but
I've got it. This is what you need. So you go all bald, tattoo. You need to get some glasses, even if you don't need them. You get the fake ones. And
I've got some.
Perfect. And then you get the Hitman barcode on the back of your head.
Yes. Oh fuck yes. Yes, get the fucking Hitman barcode and then like a suit with a red tie.
Yep.
Fucking A.
Done. We got
Sorted.
it here, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But yeah. It's just like, I don't know. It's part of me. I've already told you all of this, like the one we had a phone call on Wednesday. I'm absolutely convinced that it is, and I'm open to be proved wrong. So this blood test might well do that. I'm convinced that it's stress related. Absolutely sure as shit convinced, because it is not just happening at the front of my head. Like when I went to a flat viewing today. I went to the bathroom to just have a look, and I kind of like briefly looked in the mirror, and there were like streaks, kind of like in here, where it's not as thick as it used to be. That wouldn't happen, I don't think, if it were receding outline. If it was anything like that melt baldness, it goes back in kind of like a wave, not just general shedding, like all over the top of my head. And sometimes it's like on the side, and nowhere near as much as it is on the top and the front. But on the side occasionally, and the back, they do. So, and it's like I've never from what I've kind of had this year, I've never had anything like it. Just the amount of things that came one after the other, and well-being and furlough. I had nothing to distract myself. I had no rigorous plan, or not plan, sorry, daily routine. I wasn't getting up early and getting the same bus to get the same train to go to work and the same train and the same bus back home. There was not a rigorous routine that I had to do. And so if I don't have to do it, I won't, especially if I'm already being paid to sit around and do nothing, and with the added encumbrance of having things happen. It just made me sit and think for hours on end. I'd sit in my room and I just think things. I think myself into a hole almost. Like I would think about one situation that has happened, and then I'll think, oh, what if that happened because this? And then, oh shit, how long has that been going on? Or how long has that been happening? And then the irrational side will just take over, and I'd overthink everything, not in a good way. It would always lead to a negative outcome. And there'll be times where I kind of like get up and I'm relatively okay. And then I'll just kind of lie in my bed and just kind of like face my wall and be like, I just want to go to sleep. I just didn't want to do anything. It's just, for being furloughed was probably a bad idea. Well, it's not, it was my idea anyway. And if it meant that I had a job in the next 6 months later, then it was necessary. But it's just a lot of amount of stress and things that happened very close together. And when I have loads of time to think about all of these things and overanalyze and over engineer hypothetical things that probably didn't happen and probably haven't happened, it kind of all builds up, and then I don't know where to put it. And I'm not really good at conveying or talking about these things sometimes. So it would just stay up here. Yeah. So, and that's why I'm not on things I'm not on Snapchat, Instagram, or Facebook, or anything like that at all. The only things that I use that remotely social networking would be Reddit, but I'm on there on my own. Nobody that I know in real life do I follow. It's just whatever. I'll be on there for I don't know, contagious laughter or fucking perfectly cut screams and shit like that. It's things that are funny. Or I'd be on there for WhatsApp, or on my phone for WhatsApp. They are the only two things that you can be that are considered kind of social media, I suppose. Nothing else. and I don't feel like I've missed out on anything. The reason I got rid of them was because I sat in my room, specifically Instagram, and I just kind of use it for like, I just wanted to see what people were doing. And most of the people, and me included, you put a facade on that. Definitely. It's all for starters, it's all pictorial based. So it's all pictures. And a picture can speak 1,000 words. Yeah, cool. They're not fucking accurate words. they are words for the sake of words. End of. Words are words are words are words. None of them are accurate none of them are representative of what people are putting out. Some of them might be, but 99% of them, they're all just fictitious, skin deep. And it just promoted toxic behavior. And I know that's not what I'm like. So I'm like, this is not good. This is not a healthy thing to do. Sorry, I had to add that in there. I did it once by accident. I had to do it once by accident, and I committed to it. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, that's why I'm off of it. And I've not really felt like I'm missing out on anything from not being on there. And yeah, I think in some way I guess feel better because I'm not, it's out of sight, out of mind. I'm not thinking about any of these things anymore. I do need to delete my Facebook, but the problem is my Spotify is connected to it. So I don't know what will happen if I delete it.
So all I've done is I've just taken it off. I've disabled all the notifications, taken off my phone, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I go on the browser just to see how many notifications I have, and so I've got like fucking loads, and they're like, this person invited you to like this page, this person invited you to like X page, Y page.
I because I know how pointless and worth it is, I don't even check it. I'm like, nah, I'm just not interested.
Yeah. But that's it. That's why that's why I think it's stress related, this problem, because at the beginning of the year didn't have any of these issues, not one of them, and so I thought, yeah, fine, whatever. I no hairs on the pillow, no hairs that came out of my head when I ran my hand through my hair, even up to like beginning of May, when my hair was getting a little bit long because it was like 2 or 3 months since I had a haircut. Nothing happened, and certain things did happen, and then like a couple of months later, I was like, "Oh, things are starting to fall out." So yeah, there is a definite. To me, it just doesn't. It makes sense to me this is obviously self-diagnosed, but these things happen when they did, and when the shedding started happening, it just seems a bit too convenient not to be the reason, I guess. But this is me wanting it to not be anything else other than a temporary stress thing, I think. But yeah, a long-winded answer to a question that wasn't really asked in the first place.
So, first of all, do you know that you and particularly your choice to remove yourself from social media was the first thing I ever spoke about on my podcast?
Was it?
Episode 1, the first thing we spoke about was you not using social media, and I didn't mention you, but I just said, I started off by saying to Josh, this is an acquaintance of ours has taken himself off because he's realised how much of a toxic environment it is, and I was just saying how how much I admired the strength to do that and like the move to do that. I thought it was very, very self-aware. And then we just divulged from there. But you're the first thing I spoke about, mate.
Well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to see you on Monday. Actually, it's going to be good to see you.
Well, you have to know that that decision is a fucking incredibly mature and self-aware thing to have done. And as I'm on a similar mind to yourself, having been through stress-induced hair issues in the past. I wholeheartedly agree with you. It's a temporary stress thing because stress happens. It's how you respond to it. The stress is gone. Your hair stops. Same thing with me. Yeah, makes sense. I think as well with all this shit, like with the furlough stuff you were talking about, the obviously your cat getting in a fight, your obviously family stuff happening as well. Is none of that's part of your is in your control. None of it is what you've caused or anything like that. It's you know it's shit. Basically, how we all how you respond to it. No one's responsible for what happens to them, but it's what we're going to do to sort of combat it from here. I mean, like my one, I think the biggest thing we have to remember is that it feels like we're alone because we've got such a limited human interaction compared to what we normally would have. But proof's in the pudding with this here, mate. We're not. We're no less alone. We just got to make that little bit more effort to fucking talk to people. That's it.
Yeah.
I personally believe if we keep that, we'll be absolutely fine. We just got to
good way of putting it.
Yeah, we just got to do this more often. We just got to call people more often. That's it. And we'll be absolutely fine, right?
Yeah, I suppose maybe people not necessarily took advantage of it, but because it's just ingrained in your life from day one to when to the first day of lockdown, you took seeing people out and about and your friends whenever and wherever as just a fact of life, I suppose. I guess. And then when you've had that taken away from you, because it's so almost instinctual to have friends and kind of like small little kind of like groups of people, that once that's taken away from you, because it's so, like I said, it's so instinctual, you don't realize that that's the problem, or that's the feeling of loneliness, if that makes sense. You're not on your own, like you say, you're not on your own, because here we are. But yeah, I think just to remind people that, like you said, just a little bit more effort, and you can do things like this. And it does make a world of difference. 100%.
Well, I'm sure tech companies can tell us. We know obviously Zoom has become incredibly popular, but I'd be interested to know how much FaceTime in general has become more preferable as opposed to just calling people, because you want to, even just that little thing of seeing people. So FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, whatever, video chat and WhatsApp even. So they've all got that feature, so you can actually see each other. You can do it on Messenger as well, actually.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know, because it's just all that. There's little features we need to do to see each other a little bit more, even if it is at a further distance. This is almost as good as seeing you in person. Obviously, it's not as good, but it's there. It's on the way. So
yeah. And I think because it all happened so quickly as well, because it just happened.
Yeah.
And obviously, such a large change to a lot of people's, or the entire world's, way of life will have dire effect.
Well, this is going to feel like the be all and end all. This is going to feel like the end times right now, because it's such a drastic change from our lives. But I firmly believe this is going to be something we're going to get through in the scope of our lifetime relatively quickly, and we're going to look back on it and be like, remember this time, remember what happened, all the upheaval, but what change it inspired in people. Yeah, exactly. And I for one, definitely going to have more of an appreciation for people.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you right now, if somebody says to me like in the future, "Oh, do you want to go and do this?" I'll be like, "Fucking yeah, I do." Even if I think no, I will say yes because it's made me think like of the times that I might have said, "Oh, I can't be asked." "Oh no, I just want to stay in," or things like that. It's not that I didn't want to do those things. It's just probably because I couldn't be asked. To be honest.
Because of the option, you felt like the option was always there. You're like, oh, I can just do it next time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you think, oh, I'll see that person in a couple of weeks or tomorrow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not an option at the moment. It's just simply not an option. But
hey, my friend, I'm seeing you on Monday, so it's all good.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
we will
likewise,
have to
mate.
make a quick trip to the Evergreen surgery. Very quick.
Yeah.
All I've got to
That's
do
fine.
is pick up a form. But that's it. And then we're all good. We can go feed the ducks at the pond if you like.
Bless me, my man. Well, my friend, I think that is a positive way to end this today because I need to go and drop a log. But that was I really appreciate that, man. That was awesome, and I think that's a nice uplifting way to end it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice, good way to end.
Absolutely. Right. Well, let's see what happens with this Zoom shit. Stop recording.